This is a half dime from 1840. Why don't we call it a nickel? Got in a pocket full of change, but these are really old coins. Most of these American, I have one Canadian coin. I have the first nickel, and the reason we call it a nickel, we've got quarters, we've got dimes, silver, something called a half dime, which we no longer have, and the original dime. The original dime. Now, this is called a capped bust. This is from 1836. The reason they call it a capped bust is because there's cloth draped over the bust there, so it's called a capped bust. Very nice, very good. It is a dime. It's about the same size as the regular dimes that we have today. You can see the eagle there. It's cool. This is the dime. Not what you're used to, but usually this is in average condition. The average sale price of a dime like this sells for about $45. Not bad investment from 1836 when Andrew Jackson was president. Now this one is something called a half dime. Now don't confuse it with a nickel because it's not. It is a half dime. This was made, Martin Van Buren was president. That's called a seated Liberty. Seated Liberty. Miss Liberty's probably tired there, so she's seated. And this is the last batch of the half dimes made. Because they were too small, they got lost easily. These are 90% silver, so they're not called nickels. You probably see where I'm going there. They're really tiny. They're like little tiny tokens. They're cool. I haven't seen a lot of these, but these are very cool. And Martin Van Buren may have held this particular half dime. Next thing we have here is an 1854 large cent. It's called a large cent because it's gargantuan. It is the large cent. It has Liberty there. It's called braided hair. You can see her hair is braided there. It needs a little cleaning. I don't clean them. I leave that to the next owner. Whatever his name is. I'm guessing Chuck, but we'll see. It's 1 cent. This coin's actually in pretty good condition. United States of America, 1854. The president, Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce may have held this large penny. It's called a large penny. We went to the smaller penny because the copper, people were keeping the copper in this. It was worth more than the penny. They were melting it down, so they just half the penny. Nice job. So these aren't as easy to find. These are very collectible. They're very cool. Now, the nickel. This is called a shield nickel. There is no one on this particular coin. It's got the shield here. We've got the 5 cent. It's kind of hard to see with the rays. There's 13 rays because we had 13 colonies. That's what they did. And so there is no one on this particular nickel. The history of the nickel is kind of interesting. We got rid of the half penny because people were losing it. And there was a guy named Joseph Wharton. He had a lot of friends in Congress. And he said, you know what? We should make the new coin, the new 5 cent piece, out of nickel. Well, old Joseph happened to own a lot of silver mines, or nickel mines. And guess what? He profited very, very well from the nickel. He even convinced them to make it bigger. Hey, use more nickel, and I know where you can get it. This doesn't have a picture of anyone. You can see the 5 there. Only 2 years it had the rays on it, but it's 13. There is the shield. Now, originally they wanted to put Abraham Lincoln, it was proposed to put on this, who had just been assassinated, but they thought the South wouldn't like the nickel, so they didn't. So there's not anyone on it. We just had Lady Liberty in our coins before that. This is the first coin without a person on it, a Lady Liberty or anyone else. Now, Joseph Wharton, he made a lot of money, a ton of money, and he started the first business school in the United States. It is still around today. It's the Wharton Business School in Pennsylvania at the University of Pennsylvania, and that is a very prestigious school, and that's why they call them nickels, because they're made out of nickel. Yep, makes sense to me. I just dropped one of them. Now, this is a penny from Canada. This is from 1859. This is 1 cent. These aren't as intricate as the other ones. They're cool, they're nice, they're pennies. There's Queen Victoria. She was Queen of England at the time. She ruled for a long, long time. She was actually German. Yes, she was German, but she was the Queen of England. She was a granddaughter of Kaiser Wilhelm. So there's interesting. They have actually changed her name after World War I to Windsor. That wasn't her name then. It was something very German. But these are cool, collectible. Canada, they were still part of the UK at that time. That's why she is still on those coins. Now, quarters. You may not recognize this as a quarter. This has some wear on it. This isn't very collectible. This is from 1899. 1899. Who was president? Well, I don't know when this one was made, but a guy named McKinley would have been president. And when this coin was probably made in 1899, this is called a barber. A barber. Why is it called a barber? Because the engraver there, that was his last name. That is, there's Lady Liberty there. She would have had Liberty in there. This is 25 cents. Of course, we have the back here with the eagle. This is a very worn coin. It has a value because it still has the date on it, so we can date it. It's cool. It's a piece of history. It's over 100 years old. It's worth more than 25 cents. Now, if you took this to the bank, they would give you 25 cents. That's all they could give you. So if you find these, don't take them to the bank. That's 90% silver. Next one we have here is another quarter. The quarter changed again. That is a standing liberty or walking liberty. It looks like she's walking, but she's not walking. She's just standing still there. And the eagle here. Now, these are very hard to find in very good condition because there was a lot of wear to them. A ton of wear. And you can see the date would have been right there. It is all worn off. We don't know when this is from. We can date it from when these were made, but we don't know exactly when these were made. So this is almost a scrap silver, but it's still a cool piece of history and could have been anyone who had been president then. Now, I did get in two. These are the dimes that we're all used to, right? There is FDR. It's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was president, of course, for a long, long time. Now, why is he on the dime? Well, during his administration, he started the March of Dimes to cure polio, and that obviously worked out very well because he was stricken with polio. He was on the dime almost immediately after he had passed away. We got rid of the Liberty and all the other ones to put FDR on there. We can see the torch and the olive branch for peace and liberty and freedom. Now, so he started the March of Dimes, so that's probably why he's on the dime, and he's still on the dime today. Why do I have these out here? Because these are silver. You can see on the side there, these are 90% silver, and they're worth about 20 times face. So 20 times face, these are worth about $2 a piece, just in scrap value. So those are, this is the same thing. These are from the 50s, and in the 50s, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who knew Franklin Delano Roosevelt, would have known him, would have been president during that time. You cannot get on a coin in the United States without dying first. It's kind of a tough thing to get in, but you'll never know if you're on a coin. So this was in a box that came in. She found it. She brought it in. There's a lot of worth here. There's a lot of history here. These are very cool. Look at your coins. Find out what they are. Learn the history. Find out who was president. And tell people the reason we know this is a nickel is only because it's made out of nickel. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe if you would. Have a great